Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic episode of Keeping It Geekly. We're here hanging out with our good friend Richard Fairgray. We're breaking down the little book of superhero dicks and everything in between. Get your capes ready. We're about to go on an adventure. But before we dive in, Richard, it's been a little bit of time since you last been on the show. What have you been up to?
I've been like just killing myself to make the hardest book I've ever made. I'm working on this thing which is like a mixture of like collage and paint and sculpture and photography and layer upon layer upon layer. Like every page of the comic works out to about 4 to 6 pages of art being like jammed together. And I've converted my entire garage into a studio. I bought 100 atlases that I've been tearing up to make collages of maps for skin textures of people as they travel places. Like, it's fucking off the hook, insane bullshit. But I for some reason I told a publisher that I could do 4 issues in 2 months, which is really not that hard for someone like me if I'm just drawing. But now that I'm doing it like this, it's crushing me. So that's mostly been occupying my time. And then I've had 5 conventions since we last spoke. So 5 conventions since the middle of November. Just got back from Portland yesterday, and that's the last one I have for 3 whole weeks. So I'm pretty fucking excited to have 3 weeks to work.
And to hear that you're getting crushed is concerning. I mean, I remember very distinctively at multiple points during our friendship, hearing and seeing people reach out to you out of concern because you were working so hard and they're begging, pleading with you to take a break. So yeah, anyone who is new to Richard, I mean, this dude runs Kickstarter after Kickstarter, and these books are insanely large. It's not like a 10-page book, Ashcan or anything. They're often like 100 pages that he's knocking out in like a month of creating too, because most of your books are almost always finished before the Kickstarter even airs, which is the insanity of this all. Damn, Richard, like, what is it about it? Do you does it give you like a second wind? Like packing on so much work, like what is it about that just keeps pushing you to drive more and more onto your plate?
Well, I think that like the big question I've always had is how many things can I do before I die, right? And for me, nothing matters more than comics. So how many comics can I make before I die? And with that comes the unanswerable question, right? I just have to keep making them so that I know. And people are like, you're going to burn out. You're going to collapse. You're going to fall over. I'm like, yeah, probably. And then I get my fucking answer, don't I?
Yeah.
That's the satisfying part to all of this. We're at 344 at this point, books to my name. And, honestly, like, I've been making these little like 100-page horror books for the past year. I did 8 of those. And I just had an idea for a new one, but I don't have time to do it right now, so that sort of sucks. I've got like 4 different projects that are on the go, but are all having to be delayed for certain, like some legal reasons and some like other complications around them. And then this book that I'm working on that's like just destroying me, and like destroying me in the most satisfying way, by the way. Like, this is, when you say it's crushing, it's like when you're begging someone to step on your balls. You want it, but it still hurts.
What?
What? You don't, what?
Dude, Richard, I'm gonna tell you.
What?
I set up an appointment, all right, because we got the little geekly bunch, all right, and it's the run of my era is coming to a very, very satisfying end, and it's time for me to eventually take that snip, all right, if you know what I mean. And I was explaining that it was equivalent to a rubber band snap onto the nuggets, and that was enough for me to be like, all right, like, this is going to be a fantastic 2-month wait until this appointment. And you're like, yeah, dude, step on my balls.
There was I was traveling with some straight boys. I'm not going to say who, but some straight boys in comics who I often travel with for conventions. And one of them, poor sweet boy, went to get something out of my bag to be helpful and pulls out this thing and just sort of stares at it. And he's like, just stares at it, holding it. And I was like, do you know what it is? He's like, what? I was like, it's a ball stretcher. And he just goes, okay, and just tosses it like so casually. Like, well, it's been on my hand now for a good length of time. I felt so sorry for him. But like there's nothing that feels better than making a book this challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a page at the moment where in the script, back when it was just going to be like a drawn normal book with digital coloring, it's a dream sequence where the main character is standing by a grand piano, and her dead husband is playing a song, and it says that they're being watched by a crowd who are out of focus in the distance. And I was like, well, that's boring as shit. So what if instead I had the crowd actually a full circle around them, and every person in the crowd has like a blank profile picture icon for a head, and put them all in different outfits, and all of them are holding out their hands, and in their hands are like representations of emojis of like likes and hearts. So all the ones in the foreground with the hands really big are holding out like human hearts, and then all the ones in the background have like little severed hands with their
Mm-hmm.
thumbs up and things. And then putting those two pieces together, then I have to create the thing in the middle. So I did a drawing of a vibraphone, but I removed all of the framing, so it's just the chimes and the keys. And then floating above them are several different, and like I want it to look like toys of instruments. I don't want it to look like real ones. So I've drawn all of these like plastic trumpets to just kind of fill the background. And then they are sitting at a toy piano that I've put up to the size of a grand piano on top of the vibraphone. And then the entire background is filled with like staff paper, where I've written out by hand like complete musical nonsense, because this is her dream, not the reality. She doesn't know how to write the music, but it's like scribbles and everything, and all laid over each other. And so it just creates this like fucking swirling pattern. And that covers like that should have been one simple panel in a thing, and now it's that. But like I never looked up from the page while I was making it. Like it kept me completely like focused on it, because I'm so excited by what that looks like compared to woman stands next to piano.
Yeah. I love how
So-
we got there after like the ball stretch story. Like I'm still like on like someone getting in your bag. Like if you get in Richard's bag, you have like a 98% chance of being like 6 like steps away from stretching something, right?
I'll say that like my bag is very normal. It's a nice little purple leather purse that has my wallet, my passport, my ball stretcher, my poppers, and probably a couple of pens.
Man, you would love this so much. I was at work the other day and I forgot how, but we got on the subject of poppers. And I'm like, man, do I got an interview for you? You got to check out this octopus, the popper bottle with the QR code that you can fucking check out the comic. Dude, it was great. So the little books of superhero dicks. Originally, we were going to talk about the first book we talked about, but due to delays in the work schedule and everything, we're making a hard pivot.
Yep.
We're getting erect.
Yep.
We're getting stiff.
Starfucker #1 is delayed until February 24th, so we're here to talk about cock.
So where did this first begin? I mean, I love the idea of using such a universal like symbol as a dick signal. First of all, I thought that was awesome. But what inspired you to make them superheroes? You know, what inspired you to create like werewolves and Frankensteins out of these things, in all shapes, sizes, and varieties too? I mean, dude, when you started posting your Cocktober pictures, I loved it, man.
Listen, I've been drawing dicks for a long time, but like in the early years of my life, I was like correcting other people's dicks. I was doing a lot of like, if I saw a poorly drawn dick on a desk at school, I would like go and add shading. And
it's like that super bad episode, right? Where he's like, I just couldn't stop drawing them.
Like, I want to make dicks beautiful, right? Because this may surprise you. They're basically my favorite thing in the world. And I realized that like the way people draw dicks is either really silly or really aggressive, and the way people photograph dicks is either really amateur or really aggressive. And I want to do something that shows that I'm drawing these with love, and kind of importantly, without context. I'm not interested in seeing these dicks attached to a person. I'm interested in seeing these dicks stand alone as their own characters. And this all kind of came to a head because I had been, whenever I sell a copy of Octopus at a convention, I say, would you like me to draw a dick in this for you? And I do this like 15-second sketch of a dick. And it's a simple like cut dick, it's erect, and I put a little cock ring ball stretcher combo on it, and so the balls sit behind the word octopus on the inside front cover. And then I can, I've got enough room to have it like shooting some jizz that can be landing on my signature. And I've been doing this for quite a while, and the guy next to me at this con thought it was very funny. And that night we were at an after party for the convention, and people were like getting us to sign posters and shit. And this guy comes up and he says, "Can you do a sketch on it?" I said, "What would you like?" He says, "Oh, I don't know." And then Aaron, the guy who'd been next to me all day, just leans back and goes, "Richard's really good at drawing dicks." And I said, "Oh, can you draw me a dick?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." So I draw a dick on this poster, and I ended up drawing 57 dicks on posters that night.
Wow.
And so there's all these like Fan Expo Cleveland posters with cocks all over them. And the next day, they ran out of coffee in our green room. And so I took an empty coffee cup and I drew a dick on it, labeled it Dixie Cup, and then put up a sign that said, "Bring me a small black coffee and this cup is yours." And so throughout the day, every time a cup was empty, I would draw another dick and get another coffee from various fans or whatever. And that way I never had to line up or pay money. And I got 16 coffees.
In one day?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
And so then the next week, I just put up a sign on the table that said "Dick Pics by request, $30." And I sold 93 of them in one convention. And I was like, shit, this is something, right? Like this is, and they can vary between 4 and 10 minutes to draw, depending on like how detailed I want to get. And
so when you drew the dicks, what, like, I know there's like caricature like drawing out there where people like look at a person, they do really emphasized features. Like when you're drawing these penises, like did you like look at the person, you're like, okay, this is gonna be like a short stubby one, this is gonna be a long sleek one, I'm gonna add some girth here, like, or did you just sling it?
Well, most of them are from the old memory palace. I got 28 years of research up here, right? And I look, if people ask me to draw their dick, which is pretty common, I'm more than happy to. I get a lot of requests from women who'll send me pictures. They'll text me a picture of a dick and say, like, "This is my husband's dick, this is my boyfriend's dick. Can you make it look nice?" And so I'll look at what the dick is, and I'll sort of try and do a little bit of predictive work of like how it would look if it was from a better angle or cleaner. And
you're like, "God damn it, let me get in there and do the photography."
Yeah, like
we need better lighting here.
The boudoir photography for your husband's dick. It's interesting. I now get more dick pics from women than men. Like I have a folder in my Dropbox called "Husband Dicks" that is 527 dicks deep at this point.
Dude, you're just living life, right? You're like, why didn't I start this sooner?
And like, I'll get like, sometimes people will be like, "Just look at me and see if you can guess." And I'll ask them some questions like cut or uncut, hairy, shaved, veiny, smooth, that kind of vibe. Any piercings, any whatevers. And it's been really interesting, like the number of people who I've drawn their dick based on sort of guesswork. And then they have sent me a picture of their dick later alongside the picture to show me how accurate it is. And I think I do have kind of like a sixth sense for this at this point.
A dick medium.
I started doing like some funny ones because I want to have a mix of like real and funny. And I think the first one I did was Mr. Potato Dick. And that one, like I ended up doing like 5 or 6 of those in a day because people just kept wanting it. And that led to D-Rex, my dick-based T-Rex, and that led to somebody who very specifically requested the Amnesty International candle as a dick. They're just wrapped in barbed wire with a flame coming out the tip. So there's and like people will have their ideas of like who's their favorite character they want to see as a dick. Like I did like a "Do Androids Dream of Electric Cocks" thing where it's like a sheep with a dick head and it's all plugged in and vibrating. And so it's kind of all over the place. And like when I draw them for myself, when I draw them for social media, I don't want to make them not specifically friendly, but certainly not unfriendly. I don't want them to be like weird and aggressive. But when I'm doing stuff for people at cons, they can get very specific and they're like, "Hey, my friend just had a vasectomy. Can you draw his dick, but with a pair of scissors cutting the balls off and sperm flying out screaming we're free?" It's like, yeah, I can absolutely fucking do that. That's a great idea.
And like, here's me just like 3 weeks before mine, like, God damn it. Constant reminders. I'm gonna pass out.
Remind me to send you a picture of the dick.
So when you go to design these, the monsters, different, the turkey. I love the turkey one. The turkey one was so fucking good. I just remember every time, like, I was telling my fiance about these dicks, I'm like, "Check out Richard's dick here. Check it out. And like, I know people like listening in the background had to be like, "What the fuck?" But when you're drawing, what superhero gets what dick? You know, like what dick gets a cape, what dick gets the turkey feathers? Like, how do you determine the size, the girth, the shape to fit the hero?
You know, I think that there's so much variation in dicks, and I think that there's a hierarchy of dicks that a lot of people ascribe to, and I certainly don't. Like I've never seen a dick I didn't like. And so mine is sort of about celebrating like all dicks, all shapes, all sizes. There isn't going to be a Superman's dick is bigger than Batman's competition in my book. And there isn't going to be like limits on gender in my.
Did you do a Superman dick?
Yeah, I've got like he's like withered and limp because he's surrounded by kryptonite. So
I
like
love it so much. I was about to ask about a kryptonite, and god damn it, that is perfect, man.
Yeah, I mean that one, like it's sort of like sometimes with these themed ones, like the narrative leans into what the dick can be represented as. Like my Green Lantern dick is sort of bent around. It's like the ring is on it, but it's sort of bent around the ring, and it's projecting a much like more heroic
That's so
dick.
fucking awesome. And the Batman's is just like a small sad dick with like 2 dicks dead in the alleyway.
Actually, Jesus Christ. No, I didn't draw him as a child, you weirdo. I've done a lot of different Batman dicks over the years. My favorite one, like the one I've done for the book, is like it's just a dick in a bat cave wearing the utility belt.
I love it.
But the one I've drawn a few times with cons is I'll do like just Batman, like the gauntlets he wears as a dick, so it's got the big spikes off the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a bat symbol on the balls. Or I'll do one where it's like a dick with like the Batman mask pulled down over the head and a little cape. So it's like really like a costumed dick. And I'll put that one. The first time I did that one, I had a little quote next to it that just said, "The bat pole goes into the bat cave." Alfred Pennyworth.
You should do Alfred one too. It's just old, wrinkly.
I've done a lot of old and wrinkly dicks. You know, this is what we're talking about. I had like a lengthy conversation with a couple on the weekend who really wanted a Grogu dick, and I was like, I'm not doing a Grogu dick. That's Baby Yoda. I'll do a Yoda dick. And they were like, no, because Grogu's technically 150 years old. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. He's still coded.
Yeah, they call it baby.
Yeah. But you know, I've done a lot of different dicks over the years. One real high point for me, as in New Orleans about a week and a half ago for a show, and I had drawn the 4 Ninja Turtles, and I didn't realize the cast of the Turtles movie were there, and they walked past and saw them on my table, and they freaked out because I'd accurately guessed which of them were circumcised.
Oh my god, that is amazing. It's crazy they even told you, right? Like that's the beauty of it.
Well, there was an instant reaction of all 4 of them being like, holy shit, that's me, and yes, you got it.
So did you do Splinters too, or? I
have done Splinter's dick a number of times. I've done like a Shredder versus Splinter thing, but I want to do a book of villain dicks at some point.
You have to at this point, right?
And I got to do. I've got the cover and like 5 dicks already prepared for my next one, which is Dixar, the Dicks of Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
So the cover for that is a watercolor painting of Carl from Up with a single balloon tied around his penis, and it just says, "Ready to disappoint his wife one more time."
You know, dude, there's so many cool ones you could do. You could do like the Infinity Dick Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
dude, there's so
really
much.
It's really like a very special realm to be in. And you know, like this. So this book actually has been available at conventions in a very limited form. I just that was when I've been selling the drawings for a while, I was like, I need a book to go along with these, and I made it very fast and put it out for San Diego Comic-Con. But it's never been available online. And so this is a new expanded edition with a bunch of new dicks and a bunch of updated other dicks, because I'm really unhappy with how I drew the Invisible Woman's dick. And I feel like I can do better with Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman's a great idea. It's the bracelets are a cock ring and a ball stretcher, and then it's got a golden lasso of piss. But I feel like I can do it more dynamically now. Mm-hmm. So I'll be working on that. And I'm adding in the Flash. I don't know if I want to give away everything I'm adding in, but I'm adding.
Did you do Spider-Man yet? I feel like Spider-Man would be a perfect one.
Well, I did the Spider-Man one, and he does have McFarlane accurate jizz.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. So what goes into, I guess, when you're creating this book? It sounds like, you know, some of it might have already kind of been created, but like when you were working on new pages, did you like keep it like a dick a day? Like how did that daily routine look like from start to finish when sculpting these? for the
Well,
book?
I try to draw a few dicks every day, and it's like a good little break between other things. Like if I'm
Just a
waiting
little
for
a little warm up.
yeah, like if I'm waiting for ink to dry on one thing, I can like churn out a dick pretty fast. And not all of them will work for this book. Some of them will be for other things. I'm working on a much larger project with this called 10,000 Dicks, where I'm going to release a book called 10,000 Dicks Volume 1, which is just 100 dicks.
The BBC of dick books.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea is like I want to set myself goals that I can never really achieve within my lifetime, with the implication that someone else should pick up the legacy. So 100 dicks at a time, trying to get to 10,000. Let's see what happens.
So what about that is appealing for you? Leaving a legacy behind, leaving work that's unfinished. I know a big part of you is you're pushing yourself to see how many books you can create till you die. Leaving stuff unfinished wouldn't kind of bother you from beyond the grave?
It just seems like a better way to become a ghost. Like I really want to ensure
All right.
that I
He's
can
like, I'm gonna
do
haunt
it.
some people.
Yeah, like it's been a huge dream of mine my whole life. And I don't want to risk I don't want to risk not having that as a possibility. And I for a long time I was very much working on the idea of have my unfinished business be something fun. Like I would not finish, like I'd get halfway through a movie or be halfway down a slide when I died or whatever. But I think realistically it needs to be something a little more grounded, and at least the dick thing, like if I have to get to 10,000 dicks and like the way I haunt people is just by like drawing dicks on their bathroom mirror while they're showering, that's fucking great.
Or like flicking them in the nuggets. Draw
I mean,
a
I can
dick.
do that too.
So, when coming up with like a Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, what determined the shape for you? Because all shapes of variety. Some of my favorite ones were like the uncut ones that kind of look like they're like sunken back in.
Mhm.
What penis went to the hero? Like, did you kind of think about the hero and what they would be packing, or is it just whatever kind of shape popped in your head at that moment?
It was really whatever popped in my head. Again, they're not the dicks of the heroes. They're dicks
Yeah.
that are dressed as the heroes. This is cosplay. When you go to a convention and you see someone in cosplay, they're very rarely the same shape as the character they're dressing up as. And so I kind of like made sure I wasn't gonna fall into that kind of mistake.
All right. What is going on with Kickstarter right now? This is so weird.
It's that stupid thing at the top that if you've hovered over it, it now just scroll down, it'll go away.
There we go. Oh my god, that's annoying. Kickstarter, please stop changing things every 5 seconds. So we are looking at the little book of superhero dicks. Dicks as heroes, of course, not dicks of heroes. Also, I loved the cover. We have the dick signal. And I really love like the building shapes. It gives me like a funky, like old school, like silhouette vibe. Like, where did you come up with the inspiration for this?
It's the end credits for the Adam West Batman show.
I love that.
So it's the same colors, and actually the book itself has the same font on it as that, so it like really matches up with it. And then if you'll notice, there is a little secret hidden dick in the street light there.
Oh my god. That, yeah. Dude, I love that so much. That is so cool. Awesome cover. Let's kind of go ahead and dive into this.
There's the Spider-Man
Yes.
dick. See, I have to blur them, but
I love the curvature, right? Like, a lot of people always complain about Spider-Man not being curved enough or not being realistic with the web slinging, and this dick slinging is perfect. Even the web just looks awesome. And I love how it's like the Tobey Maguire style, where it's not like a some sort of scientific gadget dooha on the wrist. It's actually coming from the body itself.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yep. And again, as I said, McFarlane accurate jizz. There's my Green Lantern.
This is so cool too, and I love it too. Like, I love the way your mind works, and the way, like right here, this is the ring, like right around the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's awesome.
Power of the will, like that's what he sees himself as, and I think that's beautiful.
So how did you get some of this like angle in here? Is that just from experience, or kind of just like the way the body, anatomy works? Like, I mean, some of the way these are bent, like, look really realistic.
Yeah, well, look, again, I experience a lot of dicks in my life.
He's like, I got one, I just bent it.
No, like it's pretty rare for me to go more than a few days without seeing a new dick, right? And so I'm gonna be like, and this is the real danger is like, as this becomes more and more of a job for me,
Hmm.
that like my fun activities are going to involve me. Like I was at a venue in New Orleans, and I found myself like thinking about line weight on the things that were in my face, and I was like, no, that's not healthy. I need to be like present in the moment and remember these dicks later, rather than think about how they can apply to work.
So when you were drawing inspiration of how, we went into a lot with, what went into designing the actual member itself.
Hmm.
But when you went to go design, like, like the Bat Dick, for instance, him just in a cave with the belt, like what goes into your creative decisioning when adding and subtracting what's going to make this look like a hero?
Is that I wanted, with this one specifically, I wanted Batman to feel sort of stripped down, and I thought that like it was very funny to me that I quite often do like a goofy Batman dick, but to do like a very self-serious Batman dick, that he would be like, I'm in my cave, I'm a big tough dick.
A brooding dick, yes.
Yeah, a really like brooding dark dick for the fucking like this is Scott Snyder's Batman dick. This is not Neil Adams' Batman dick, it's all about just finding the balance. And what's nice about this is like there are so many different Batmans. I feel like I could do an entire book of Bat dicks and just like run the gamut of different dick styles.
I really love the symbol on the belt itself. It's just like there's so many awesome little attention to details too, the more you stare at it. So right here is the Dick or Treat from the Halloween, and this thing was just as awesome as well. Like the cat one, the witch, the ghost one gave me such a throwback to like when I was a kid. I remember on the porch my mom used to have a ghost in the sheet that would just vibrate and had the red eyes, and it would just shake whenever you walked by it.
And what did your mother put in there to make it vibrate, Cody? Are you having a little realization right now?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude, the Dick vampire. I love the cape.
I'm really proud of myself for having the witch dick be riding side saddle like that.
And I'm even more surprised about the dog with the titties in the background.
Oh, that's a piece by Hey Weirdo. If you remember my Ex-Wives of Frankenstein cover with where she's all cut up into pieces and you can dress her up, same artist. One of my absolute favorite artists.
It's so detailed too, and Chihuahua is so angry. I get it. I get it.
If you've ever seen the pictures of like Grimace with big titties, same artist, or the like Furbies with like sexy legs and fishnets.
Don't you have a Grimace like shirt too?
I do. It's a Hey Weirdo shirt.
Yeah, dude, I love it, dude. It's insane. It is insane.
Some happy customers.
This is beautiful.
Now, I really like. Look, I might keep that one as it is, but I also really feel like I can do something more dynamic with it now. So I'm going back and forth on whether I draw a new Wonder Woman or not.
Are we ever going to see a Justice League of members, like a collage of all of them together?
I think I would like to do that as a print at some point, or maybe like a set of enamel pins.
All right, for everyone that is watching, we're going to be dropping the link to this campaign in chat. Be sure to check it out with us. If you're able to back, we would love to see that. Simply putting this on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you can. Blue Sky, word of mouth is 100% free, and it costs you absolutely nothing to share the word. So you can get a PDF of this for just $7 of all the heroic dicks that you can fathom in your inbox. If you want a physical though, because let's get physical, baby, $15. So $8 more, and you're gonna get a physical copy. How many pages are in this?
24. It's 24 beautiful cocks.
Beautiful cocks on your doorstep, waiting for you. We have a book and sketch. So is this going to be like one of those quick remarks you were talking about earlier?
Yep. So you get the quick sketch on the back cover, and you get to choose cut or uncut.
And then we have Tale of Two Dicks, 2 books of dicks. So Superhero Dick and the Dick or Treat, featuring 31 dicks of Cocktober. So that's like over 50 members.
Yep.
For your viewing pleasure. You can get both book with sketches for $40, and at $45 a fully customized dick pic. 6x8 original dick pic, fully customized to your taste. Is there anything that is off limits with this?
I've never had to say no to anything outright yet. And like, a lot of it comes down to like, well, this is just one that's just for the customer. I'm not going to put it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. I'll tell you what, the only time I've really turned someone down is someone really wanted me to draw. They were a huge fan of Chris Pratt, and they wanted me to draw a Chris Pratt character. And I was like, I'm not interested in drawing Chris Pratt. That's never going to happen. So that was that. I felt like I was really like taking a stance there. I'm like, no, fuck that guy. I want to love dicks, and I hate that guy.
Dude, you know what? And I love it too because every interview we always have like such interesting Richard lore. And the one for this one is like your undying hatred for Chris Pratt. We got to do like some sort of Richard Fairgray discography where we like break things down. So, Richard, for anyone who might be on the fence about backing this passion project, what would you say to them to help them kind of stiffen up and make that pledge?
I would tell them that one, everybody loves dicks, and you just need to get out of your own way and admit it. Two, like, I want you to have a dick pic you can be proud of for a change, and I can help with that. And three, it just makes a fantastic gift. You just got to think, how many of my grandparents are still alive, and then how many copies of the book do I need?
That's true. Give them to your family members. Give them to your conservative grandparents. Have them open that. Oh, dude, that'd be so awesome, right? Like, just like paint the town in D. So, Richard, this project, we were talking about it, and it seems like such a stretch of imagination, really pushing the bounds of creativity. And for any artist creator out there looking to really push the boundaries of what they're able to create, really to dive into something that is like pushing the envelope, right? Like, I mean, this seems like such a simple thing at its root, but when you really look at the detail that goes into it and stuff, there's a lot of work. What would be your advice for anyone out there struggling to push that envelope to help achieve that?
I would say to just like, we are entering an age where humanity is going to be so much more important in art, and it's going to be so much more highly valued in art as we start seeing more and more AI slop and whatever. And we're kind of coming out of I would say 20-year period of digital art where people are working really hard to look like someone else or working really hard to align with a style, and we're losing a lot of originality. And I think that no matter how satisfying it is to say, I made a thing look like the thing it looks like, the thing that'll make you truly happy is when you unlock your own style, and that only comes from obsession and love. And draw with those two things as your focus, and you will unlock something really special. For me, it's been dicks. But for someone else, it could be, I don't know. There are all kinds of other body parts out there. But
he's like, I'm not giving you my next idea. You're gonna have to think of that yourself.
I think for the villain book, I'll do Bizarro as a butt plug, though.
That's a chocolate starfish, maybe?
I was thinking like just a butthole with a plug in it with the Bizarro #1 emblem on it. Yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. And I love how that's one of my favorite parts about interviewing you is like the creativity like in your mind just never stops. And like it's insane, right? Like you are able to just when I first really started diving into your work, the way your panel layouts, the way you were able to create characters and the panels the perspective of paneling and stuff like just was insane. But like then you really started like pushing the bounds with stuff. Richard, like I really love your work. I really think you're one of the creators that are just like doing it right, like doing it and doing it hard. And with that being said, guys, you could do it hard by pledging to this campaign today. Be sure to hit up this link. So awesome. Richard, you've been on the show, you know the drill. We already asked you for a little bit of advice, but what have you been up to outside of creating? What movies have you been catching? What books have you been reading?
I've barely read anything in a long fucking time, honestly. I have been so swamped with this big project. I have, you know what? I had to read the PDF proof of an anthology I'm in, Systemic. It's a sci-fi anthology. And I'm not a sci-fi guy, and I was just thoroughly delighted by the whole thing. So I recommend everyone check that out, not just for my story, but for everyone's. And in terms of watching, I see everything. I go to every fucking movie there is because I'm a 4-minute walk away from a very nice theater. And I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to be Captain fucking Obvious here, but like Marty Supreme absolutely rips dick. Everyone should see it. Avatar Fire and Ash is like unhinged garbage, but like if you're on the fence about it, please be aware that they put a whale on trial for war crimes and then convict him and make him go and live at sea. And that's just a thing that just happens in a movie, and everyone's like, yeah, that makes sense. That fucking makes sense that we're going to send a whale to live at sea as punishment. And I think you should all see that for that experience. And like,
Is it 3
there's
hours long too?
It's 3 hours long, but you've
Yep.
got hair pegging, you've got some space cocaine. Like, it's got really, like, James Cameron is off the fucking deep end with this one. And
Yeah, we need to look up James Cameron's like search history. Like the way they connect with the animals and stuff in Avatar was a little sus. It's a little questionable.
Look, I really feel like the first Avatar was him being like, "Hey guys, this is my idea." Second Avatar was like, "Hey guys, look how fucking thought through this world is that I've had since I was 13." And this third one is like, "Hey guys, here's what gets my dick wet. Like, this is it." And I'm just happy. Like, it feels weirdly vulnerable that he's just like, he's finally like, I do not find the Na'vi sexy, but he's telling me what he thinks is sexy, and that's interesting.
Maybe
Also,
he's hitting his Richard Fairgray part of his career, right? Where he's just embracing what he loves.
do you think he's been in New Zealand long enough that he's picking up on my old energy?
I would love to see 20 years from now, 30 years from now, after we have like crazy post-apocalyptic world wars and nuclear bombs, like people are going to dig up Avatar. That'll be the only media they can find. And they're going to be like, oh, this is how we tame animals, is by putting this there.
Yeah. And it'll work. That's the thing. That's the real special thing, is that don't ever discount James Cameron. He's always right about these things. Also, did you see in an interview recently, he said, I'm 70 years old, which means I'll probably only be doing this for another 30 or 40 more years. Like,
Yeah.
What? Like, I know we have a lot of very old directors, and I know Clint Eastwood is out there still, but like, hey, James, you go in a lot of submarines,
Dude, there's a lot of crazy shit happening. There's that one dude who like siphons blood from his kid each like couple days or month so he can inject it into his body. And he's like 60, but the magazine says looks like 30 or 40. It's like, no, dude, you look leathered. You look weird. You look like some sort of like, not a vampire, not a cool vampire at least, like one that kind of has like some suffering from some sort of disease. Like, what is going on now?
Do you remember that guy who was eating silver every day and he turned blue?
Yeah, dude, because for the health benefits or whatever, his whole skin turned blue. Yeah.
Yeah, and it killed him. But also, like, there is this period right in the middle where he looks so much like if Papa Smurf were a person, and I'm like, that dude can get it. Like, like, my God, just give me a fucking call,
Guys, we're going to have to cut it short. Richard is entering his feral stage right now. If you're out there, you got a white beard and you're blue, please hide.
Look me up.
So everyone watching, right, there is a link. Be sure to check out this awesome campaign today. If you're not able to, share it with your friends, family. Anything that Richard does, anything he touches is always gold. I always love it. It's always work that I recommend to my friends, family, with a little side note like, hey, you might see a hard member in here or two. Just be aware. But with that being said, I always love it. I always find it invigorating and awesome. Richard, thank you so much for swinging by, keeping it hard with us, and letting us know what goes into creating a superhero dick.
Thank you.
With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday, but most importantly, guys, keep it geekly. All right, let me end the podcast real quick. All right, guys, we're good.